These are obviously, these are times where we're going to have to cut back a little bit. We're going to have to work hard, but we can do it. We can do it. I'm going to run through just because of time constraints. Everybody does have copies of these, but we're just going to kind of run through these. You know, from the standpoint, the Auditor of Public Account has a tremendous duty. It has a duty to make sure that we protect the taxpayers' dollars. We are the watchdog of the taxpayers. Just kind of moving a little bit in regards to our staff. Obviously, we have about 145 employees. About 11 of those are administrative staff. About 134 of the staff is audit staff. We have kind of a unique position as the majority of our employees, about 90% of our employees, or 90% of our budget really deals with employees, and about 90% of that personnel acts as professional auditors. We do have some challenges. We'll cover a little bit later on in the slides, but basically we face some challenges because generally auditors that come on board, we already start at a lower salary. We're about $6,600 lower than an average CPA. We're about $4,100 lower than some of the other states, but we are still going to work through that, do the best job we can. We perform about 600 annual audits over the last 2 years. We did, in fact, perform approximately 1,130 audits, and we even referred about 45 audits to law enforcement. We reported approximately $1.3 billion, that's with a B, in errors, questionable cost, non-compliance, disallowed expenditures, and other weaknesses. Some of the things that we do, we do financial audits, obviously, but we also do special audits. Many of you are familiar with them. Obviously, we all voted for, at least I believe everyone here voted for Senate Joint Resolution 20, which did the audit of the rape kits, the sexual assault kit examination. We did the Bowling Green TIF examination, as well as several cities in that regards. Jumping ahead a little bit to our specific budget. Obviously, if we go to slide on page 4 slide, the revised fiscal year 16 budget. I'm sorry.
It's slide 8.
Oh, slide 8. On that particular, we've got set up a little different here. But basically, we are looking this year, approximately 35, almost 36% of our budget is general fund. The rest of it is restricted funds. The auditor is keenly positioned because approximately 2/3 of our budget comes from billable fees when we go out and do the audits for the county and the state. If you look at the governor's proposed 4.5% cut, it actually will cut us about $215,000. We can make those adjustments as long as we're allowed to access our restricted funds. If you jump ahead to the next slide, recommended for the fiscal year 2017, as you can see, the percentage that we received from the general fund would drop to about 34.1%, and then restricted funds would be almost 66 at a 65.9%. Moving on through, and of course in that particular year, these proposed 9% cuts, they would be the equivalent of about roughly $430,000 each year in fiscal year 17 and fiscal year 18. If we move on to the fiscal year 2018, it's very similar. About 34.1% of our budget is general fund. About 65.9% of our budget is the restricted funds. So our office continues to work diligently to, I jokingly told some of them when we came in, if we're blessed to be here for roughly 8 years, we will see more and more having to generate our own revenues, and eventually I would expect, hopefully not this time, but eventually we would expect that we would have to generate the largest portion, almost all of our revenues through the audits. Just to kind of give you an idea of some of the areas that we don't have a lot of the niceties. You know, we don't have any vehicles that we provide. We don't provide any cell phones. For those staff that's out in the county, we actually require them as part of their contract to get their internet for their homes, so that's part of their contract. In the office itself, we don't have any coffee or coffee cups. There are some provided that's, you know, along the lines of what we did in the General Assembly with kind of a shared item in that regards. We are, from the standpoint, we work diligently, we work hard, and like I said, we're blessed to have such a professional staff that can go out and help us generate. Some of the things that we're going to look to do here this next year, some of those items include, obviously, we're going to work with the governor to do the performance audits on the pensions. Obviously, that's going to be a standalone that the governor's working with in the budget, but there may be some instances where we have to utilize our subpoena power to go and actually subpoena documents and provide those to whatever group receives that bid. We're also going to do the CLEP fund, the Kentucky Law Enforcement Program Fund. It's kind of interesting, approximately $100 million a year passes through that fund, but it has never been audited. Now, it's been audited almost like a 30,000-foot view from the standpoint that it's part of our statewide single audit, but it has never been individually audited. And then obviously the University of Louisville Foundation, we are continuing with that audit as well. And I'll be honest with you, it is going to be difficult, but we can do it. I mean, as long as we are allowed to access those restricted funds, we already generate approximately 2/3 of our funding from that anyway.